Tom and John have been best friends since before they could even walk. Their mothers were really close and always told each other their children would also be. They would always get into trouble together but would always stick by each other's side when they were inevitably caught. Two peas in an idiot pod, some would say. As they got older, they began to drift apart but would meet again after they both began working at the same grocery store. Tom was almost always late to work, and John would always pick up his slack and make excuses for his tardiness. Even as adults, they were still the same two peas in the same idiot pod. There was a time that Tom was nearly fired for his antics, but John was able to talk down the manager, and even though the manager still doesn't like Tom, he tolerates him for John. How quaint. One night, Tom invited John over to hang out, as they often did, which usually just consisted of the two of them talking about people at work or the newest movies that just released. And they did this while under substances they obtained every other week. Tonight, the topic of conversation became rather strange when John began bringing up conspiracy theories about the government and aliens walking the earth, but Tom just chalked it up to him being really high. Every week when the two of them would hang out, John seemed more and more distracted, and whenever Tom would ask him what was going on, he would say the same thing: he needed to see his friend. This at first seemed to be some kind of joke to Tom, but he began to get concerned the longer it went on. Tom was wary of John's new friends, so he decided to check on John so he could see what exactly was happening and what he could do to help his friend, who seemed to be out of it more and more. Tom goes over to John's apartment and knocks on the door a couple of times, but to no avail. He looks around for a way in and sees that the window is open, so he allows himself in to check on his friend. "Hello," he said quietly while looking around the room. "John, where are you? You said to come around 3, right?" Tom walked around the entire apartment and John was nowhere in sight. He checked his bedroom and sees that his bed is perfectly made and nothing seems out of place at all, almost as if it was left untouched for weeks. The next week, Tom went around town asking friends and family and colleagues if they knew anything about John's whereabouts, but no one knew anything or even realized he had gone missing. Tom almost loses all hope until one day when he decides to take his mind off things and walks a trail he and John used to frequent as children. While walking the trail, he notices a faint green light emitting from between the trees ahead of him and the sound, a hum accompanying the light. He made his way up the trail and walked towards the light, which seemed to be coming from a cracked tree. He looked away from it and noticed John standing in front of it, entranced by the light. Tom frantically tries to call out to John to get his attention, but he doesn't hear him, so Tom runs over to him and again tried getting his attention by grabbing his arm, but he pulled away using strength Tom didn't even know he had. "It's beautiful," John said as he walked closer to the tree. John's eyes were glowing green just like the tree in front of him. The hum of the tree grew louder as John inched towards it. Whispers could be heard, but whatever they were saying was nearly impossible to make out. Tom mustered up all of his strength to hold his friend back. "Wake up, John, wake up," Tom exclaimed. He pushed and he pushed until finally John fell to the ground and his eyes went back to normal. John snaps back to reality as if he had just woken up from a long nap. "What happened?" he asked. Before Tom could even answer, the hums grew louder and louder, before eventually going completely silent. The light from the tree disappeared, and so did the light in the sky. It was now total darkness, nearly midnight. Somehow the tree warped time, but that didn't matter to Tom because all that did was that he got his friend back. Tom took John under his arm and walked him out of the forest. Somehow John had no energy anymore and completely passed out. It took almost an hour, but Tom managed to get John out of the forest and into his car. Before driving off, Tom took one last look in front of him at the woods that took his friend away, and he hoped that no one else would be taken away by whatever forces lie there, but he could feel deep in his mind that whatever this was, wasn't over.